Welcome to The Pulse, where we delve deep into the issues and ideas that are shaping the future of education. I'm your host, Rick Surrency, Superintendent of the Putnam County School District, and each week we'll be talking to teachers, administrators, and other experts in the field about the latest trends, best practices, and most pressing concerns in education. Whether you're a teacher, a parent, or just someone who cares about education, this podcast is for you. So sit back, relax, and let's dive into the pulse. Hi, this is Rick Surrency. I'm the superintendent of the Putnam County School District, and welcome to our podcast today. And I'm very honored to have two of my colleagues with me today, Sara McDaniel, whose position is the Executive Director of Leadership Development, and she also supervises all of our schools. And we have with us Kenna Foster, who is our, what's your official title?
Health Services Coordinator.
Right. I was going to say that, but thanks for but Kenna's been very instrumental in helping us. Actually started during the pandemic and has been with the district ever since then, and really keeps us in line with all of our health practices and all. But we are here to specifically talk about an event that's coming up soon, and it has to do with our children's cardiac health. And I know that one thing that we've talked about in recent years is the cardiac arrest, where not only adults but students have been known to suffer cardiac arrest, and in some cases, they end up being fatal. So we have actually, just to be a preventative measure, we actually have come across an opportunity where we can provide a service to our students where we can detect some of these malformations or problems in our youth that maybe we didn't know that was there. So just to bring you up to date, Sarah Jean and I actually attended a Northeast Florida Educational Consortium board meeting. And at the board meeting, we actually had a visitor there do a presentation. So Sarah Jean, can you talk about that?
Absolutely. I was at the meeting as a guest for something totally different, but I believe in being at the right place at the right time. Mm-hmm. And I was sitting, and at the meetings, they have presentations from vendors or organizations. And this day, an organization called Who We Play For presented to all of the superintendents. And just a little background about Who We Play For and how it started was a 15-year-old student from Cocoa Beach High School in 2007 suffered a sudden cardiac arrest during soccer practice. They were just beginning. They were doing warm-ups. He sat down, and his teammates noticed that he did not get up with the rest of the team. They tried, just all they could do to help him, but he did die the next day, just before his 16th birthday. So I was sitting there, listening to this presentation, and it really touched home to me because my father passed away from sudden cardiac arrest right here at the Ravine Gardens in 1992, and he was only 46 years old, and he was also an athlete. Of course, he wasn't, as young as Rafe was, but still very young and very much in shape. So I just told Rick right after that, we've got to bring this to Putnam County. Mm-hmm. Got with Kenna, and that's when I found out Kenna had already been researching. Was it the same organization?
Yes, it was the same.
Yeah. So she already knew about it, and so it just, all happened, again, right place, right time, right people, just passionate about just the health of our kids and what's best for our community.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And I think that's something, especially in this day and time. We hear things about athletes, and we hear about just tragedies that happen, and the school district is trying to be in a preventative way of trying to head these off, just knowing what if there's any problems with our students. So Kenna, tell us a little bit about what we are looking at doing over the next month or so to really help our kids.
Okay, so coming up January 30th, Who We Play For will be at Palatka Junior Senior High School. Then on January the 31st, they will be at Interlochen Junior Senior High School. On February the 6th, they will be at QI Roberts Junior Senior High School. And then we'll round it off at Crescent City Junior Senior High School on February the 7th.
And if I can cut you off a minute, we're going to have that on the screen, but also parents be aware your child will be bringing home a permission slip if they haven't already done so. So again, you need to be able to sign that so they can have that opportunity.
Permission slips will go home with students on Wednesday, January the 15th. Yes. And you'll have an opportunity to complete that permission slip 2 different ways. There will be a hard copy form that you can sign and send back with your student, or you can go online and they have the directions there, and you can fill out the form online also on the Who We Play For website. Once the permission slips come back, then on the day of the event, your student will receive the ECG or EKG. Both mean the same. It's basically the student will have little stickers applied to the chest. And what that does is it records the electrical activity of the heart. And the electrical activity of the heart makes the muscle move, which then pushes blood to our organs to make us breathe, walk, do all the things that we do. So if they're girls, you'll want to have them in a sports bra that day. Their shirt will be lifted. Boys and girls will be separate. Their privacy will be protected by screens. And at that time, stickers will be placed on. Takes a couple of minutes. Totally no pain whatsoever. It's painless. That will be recorded in this machine. It is sent to a pediatric cardiologist. He will read the EKG, ECG, and then within 10 business days, the parent will get the results back. They'll either get an email or a call, and there are 3 levels they will be informed of. Your student's good. Think of the next level as like a yellow light. Hey, might want some follow-up here within X amount of time. They could still play sports. They can still do band, but we want to follow up with a cardiologist within 3 months. Or that high level, which is, hey, we see an issue. We need immediate intervention.
Well, that's good. And I know you've probably had some statistics to share.
Yes, sir.
That might educate us all. And again, you've told us before we went on, this is not the same as a heart attack. This is something completely different. So, share some of that vital information if you would.
Okay. So when you're thinking of a heart attack, which is what we hear a lot about in your adult population, that's basically a plumbing problem, which means something has blocked the blood flow to the heart. When you're talking about sudden cardiac arrest, that's an electrical problem or how an abnormality with the heart, how it was developed. The muscle could be too thick. But in that case, then there's a disruption in the electricity, and then your blood can't go to all your organs. So that's the big difference. It is the number one cause of death amongst athletes and on school campuses. And you say, well, my kid goes to the doctor every year for a checkup. That should catch it. That is not part of the routine screening, and 96% of cardiac issues are missed during the well screening check, where an EKG will catch 95% of issues.
I have been on the Who We Play For website, and it did say, the young man, Rafe, that passed away, he cleared all of his physicals and, had been, regular to the doctor.
But I wonder if he had an EKG. Did they say?
He did not, and that's why I do want to add a piece of how Who We Play For came about after he passed away. It actually was started by his teammates, just young teenagers, just they saw what happened to their friend, and they started this nonprofit organization. And then as they went on to Florida State University, and you can help me, Kenneth, if I'm leaving anything out, and I know they're speaking at our board meeting tomorrow, actually.
On the 14th of January.
14th of January. And so I know it is much more powerful to hear it from the people that started it. But it was young people that went on to Florida State and they started this organization. So that's great for our students.
At no cost to our students.
Well, it's no cost. No, they've gotten all kinds of grants and donations. And at one time, Bobby Bowden was on the executive board for Who We Play For. It's it's great. I encourage everyone to go to the website and just check it out there, because I do know there is a way also you could order the machine and up to 22 years old if you have even a student that's outside of high school, which I do, and that's something that you can get information on.
Kind of monitor your own, right? Thank you for sharing that. And there's some additional statistics you were going to share.
Right. So 1 in 10 people who have a sudden cardiac arrest survive. So that is a rather alarming rate. And 1 in 300 children have a detectable cardiac issue that could be caught. And I do want to mention something. Ms. McDaniel said that the screening is free. For those parents who elect to go online and complete the application, please be aware it will show that there is a $20 fee. However, that is waived for all Putnam County students because of a grant that Who We Play For received. So please do not let that stop you. I rest assure you that that fee is waived. And for those parents who say, this is just not for me, or I'm going to do something else, but what else is the district doing to combat this issue? All of our schools have AED machines, our district buildings. Our larger high schools have numerous AED machines. A law was passed a few years back where all 9th and 11th graders are required to have hands-only CPR, and that is provided in the schools. And then we follow all the guidelines as far as having the required amount of employees that are CPR and first aid. So there are other things, I believe, in a parent choice, a student choice. So if this isn't for you, please know that we are doing other things to be prepared.
So I appreciate you sharing that. And in our board meeting, again, this will be shown after that board meeting, but hopefully we'll have, you can always go back and listen to our board meetings. They're on our website and on Facebook, so you can actually hear the information that's going to be presented at the board meeting. But, what do you anticipate this maybe the long-term effect of this in our county? And hopefully we can do this numerous times. But what do you anticipate what will come out of that in Putnam County after going through all this?
Well, it is my wish that, every parent would want this for their child. It's not just athletes or, band members, but every parent. And again, in my case, my dad was older, but had he had this young, I may still, have my dad around. He would be 80 as of last week.
Wow.
So, yeah. But I just want it out there for all parents to have the opportunity, because the opportunity and the education, I think, because we didn't know about it until my dad passed away. Now I can be checked and my children be checked because of, genetics or sudden death. Those were the two signs that the doctor told us, are usually, like she said, 1 in 10 survive. But the other thing too,
and you raise a good point, that I know some parents might say, my kid doesn't need that because we don't have any heart disease history in either side of the parents. But that's not always the case. I mean, your child could have some condition that may not be connected to their family background.
Yes, absolutely. And you don't always know what your family history is. Someone might not have shared. It could have been a couple generations back. So it's a free test. It's painless. It takes 4 minutes. It's done during school hours, so you're not having to drive somewhere, make an appointment. Someone's calling you. And then we have an added benefit also that if your child does receive a result that is concerning, then I will work with you to find cardiologists or find the follow-up that we need. Not that the district would pay for that, but we can help find ways to follow up and make sure that student's safe.
Yeah, and I do want to say too, but we've been in contact with the organization, just asking questions. And if something does show up on a child's screening, it does not mean that they can't play sports. It doesn't mean, even if it's the highest level,
Correct.
that we can just do, of course, get them to the cardiologist. They can get medication and treatment and live a full life. The life expectancy, if you do have this condition, should be a normal life.
Just arming yourself with information is
Correct.
the best thing.
Yes.
Not knowing and being caught
Yes.
or something tragically happened. But, you mentioned that you're in the right place at the right time. And I hear so many presentations and all that, which are all wonderful. A lot of times they may not resonate with me like this particular one did with you, just because you have a passion because your dad passed away with that same exact condition. And that was, you were in a place where normally you don't go there, but you actually heard that, and all thanks to you for bringing this. And of course, you've had some background in it too, but I think this is a wonderful opportunity that our kids will have. And if we can save one life, it's worth every dime, every minute that we spend on this. And
Another just cool thing that happened that day was one of the men from the organization happened to have graduated around the same time I did from Interlochen Junior Senior High School, and so he was a Putnam County graduate. So he was very passionate about bringing it back to his hometown. We talked, and he had remembered the event of my dad. It was just everything, just was right,
Yeah.
I think. And then when I got with Kenna, and she had already started working, and so it kind of went fast.
well, we're all about, and we say this all the time, we're about educating kids and feeding kids and transporting them. But you know what? If they're not secure and safe and in good health, then it's very difficult for them to learn. So again, I want to thank both of you for being here, and this is going to be a great opportunity for our school district. And please note those dates again, that they'll be on the screen. And if you have any questions, we'll also put your information on there.
Sure.
On
And
the screen.
Website, who would play for it will give you a lot of
Excuse me.
good information.
Yeah, we'll
too.
put that on the screen, and we want you to be able to do some research yourself. But I think this is one of the greatest opportunities we've had for our kids in a very long time. So
Absolutely.
thank you both for being here, and I look forward to that opportunity. So, and we'll see you in our next podcast.